When Shmuel speak about 200 calls that he get every day, he means that this is for his personal cell phone. All of our staff, their cell phones are outside there, and they get more than hundreds of calls every day, and that's beside the hotline that we just opened. So please, if you get the presentation, and if I start, I will say, first, thank you to Betsy, and thank you, Beth, for the warm words. I say it a lot that we may get our salary from the Jewish Agency, but all of our team feel that we work on behalf of your federation, on behalf of Keren HaYesod communities, but mainly on behalf of the Jewish people. And we may not sleep in the last few days, and that's true, but the people that you just saw, Shmuel, and our 80 people on the ground within Ukraine, they work under fire, literally under fire. So you have just heard Shmuel, and every one of us at the Jewish Agency in Israel, in Ukraine, and other countries around the region is working around the clock, actively responding to this situation. We are operating at 5 borders, crossing. Our local teams are deployed in the areas to respond to victims and assist refugees. This is an ever-changing situation, and we don't know what we are going to face going forward. Every day there is a change in the field. So far, I said before, we are convening an emergency forum at least twice a day. From the moment of the Russian invasion, we opened a hotline, as I said before, for Jews in Ukraine, and we launched 4 landing pages on our website, making information accessible in 4 languages. We so far received 2,000 calls just in the last 48 hours, which are now added to our 24,000 other contacts we have gathered in the past few years. Those people are participants from Ukraine in Jewish Agency programs such as summer camp, Sunday school, and many more. We are reaching out to every single one of them, of those 24,000 people that we have in our contact list, and ask them and try to understand their situation and offer them our assistance as needed. Look, the Jewish Agency is not new to the emergency situation. Unfortunately, but maybe gladly, we have a system in place to deal with an emergency in Israel and outside of Israel. And it's important to me to share with you the meaning of our work during an emergency situation. In this case, our primarily concerns are as follows. For the first one is the well-being of our shlichim, their families, and our local employees. This is on the top of our mind. Secondly, we are focused on helping those who make Aliyah would like to do, but at the same time, we care about supporting the Jewish community who remain in Ukraine, and I will elaborate about it later. Thirdly, we offer support to Israeli abroad living in Ukraine who may require our assistance in full collaboration with the Israeli government when they need us. And the reason is because we spread out all over Ukraine and help there. And finally, we are concerned and really concerned with Ukrainians here in Israel participating in our programming. We have left a lot of the family behind in Ukraine. I can share with you that we have several programs here in Israel, which we have both Ukraine and Russian in the same space, sharing the same space. You can just imagine how complicated it may be. And we are making sure that we are actively monitoring the dynamic of the groups through this situation. So as you can see on the slide, we map our emergency management based on 4 alerts level. Currently, we are in the highest level, and therefore we are responding begins with 24 hours monitoring. And guys, 24/7, monitoring every single hour of the day, because there is a war, a real war outside there. So as you can see from the map, the Jewish Agency is spread out all over the area with the dark blue pinpoints in the Ukraine and the light blue pinpoints in the surrounding countries around Ukraine. To the east, you can see the Russian border, to the north, the Belarusian border, to the west, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, and Moldova, all of which we have we have our eyes on at the moment. We are preparing our operation on both sides of the border of the neighboring countries. As you can see in the light blue pinpoints, and at each point, we have helping Jews that want to make Aliyah, cross the border, and then help them with the remaining Aliyah processes, or, and it's very important, connecting them to the Jewish community in these countries. We are also prepared with facilities and services like food, lodging, and first aid assistance. Keep in mind that these specific points can be changed every day. So we are monitoring this situation 24/7 and prepared to move our people on the border as needed. I say it a lot, but the Jewish Agency is always partnering and coordinating with many different bodies, both within and outside Israel. Our plan consists working in two levels. One, with the State of Israel, in a full coordination between the various ministry, Foreign Affairs, Prime Minister Office, Education, Aliyah and Klita, every single diaspora, every single ministry there. And on the second level, working together with the local organization and the bodies such as JFNA, Keren HaYesod, and others that you can see on the screen. And there are many others that are not on the screen, but we make sure to work with them. And we have actually established a management table within Ukraine. Moving forward, there are because of our unique status with the government of Israel, we are participating in different emergency forums in the government, including the Foreign Ministry Emergency Forum. I think it's important because it helps us to assess and prepare for different scenarios in full coordination with the government. And I have to tell you that the government of Israel is helping a lot and through this situation. So moving forward, there are four main areas of work during the war in Ukraine. The first one, or the main focus right now, is the safely handling the evacuation of refugees and Aliyah candidates. As I mentioned earlier, we have opened transit facilities in Ukraine and in other neighboring countries. In each one of the countries, we have transit in place for them, and also within Ukraine. So it's the two places on the border over there. We are immediately preparing for the absorption of up to 3,000 Aliyah candidates at the first wave. They can be much bigger number, but in the first stage, we are preparing 3,000 Aliyah candidates. We are working closely with Nativ for attending eligibility, arranging visa and Aliyah approval, and also securing land traffic and the necessary services, food, lodging, which all of be provided at the transit facilities, as Shmuel just mentioned. The second part of our work is supporting the security and resilience of our local community organization. Josh will elaborate about it later, so we'll jump in and move forward to our third area, and that revolves around assisting the government of Israel as needed. As you can see from the map earlier, we spread out all over Ukraine. If they need our help with Israel or other needs, we are there with them, sleeping with them, traveling with them, having the same capsula with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. And in any case, the State of Israel need us, we will be there. And the lastly, we are concerned with taking care of the many program participants, young people from Ukraine on Jewish agency programs currently in Israel. Just imagine how difficult and heartbreaking it is to being hundreds of miles away from your family that is in a war zone in Ukraine. Some of these participants are just ending their program and now cannot return back home, and we will need to address their long-term stay here in Israel as well as their emotional well-being. I can tell you that in Budapest, for example, we have a group of Russian summer camps leaders from Russia and Ukraine that came for training. They've been in Budapest, and in the middle of the training, the war started. So think about the situation, being in Budapest, can return to your country, the tension between them. Our staff decided to stay in Budapest outside of Israel. We decided to let them stay there. The Jewish community in Hungary helped them, and we will be there as long as we needed because we are taking care for every Jews around the world. So as we're focusing about the current situation in Ukraine, we should also, and it's very, very important, to make sure to maintain our activity and our infrastructure following the war. All of us understand that there will be Jews that will stay in Ukraine. I think it's obvious that we'll have Jews that will stay in Ukraine, not only in Ukraine, but also or the other neighboring countries. I believe that we'll see a growing numbers with those community, and they will not. Some of them will make Aliyah, but probably some of them will not make Aliyah, and therefore there will be a Jewish community that remains. We must ensure that our various services continue and are effective, and that we improve our processes along the way for the day after. We also want to ensure that the basic infrastructure in each community, in this way, I think we will ensure that our educational activities, Sunday school, camps, ulpanim, and etc., will remain stable after the war. Friends, we are in the middle of war, in the middle of crisis. A crisis that will impact not just the Ukraine and the Ukrainian Jewish community, but also Jewish community in the entire region and the world. Facing big challenges come with global responsibility and global response. You can see here our first estimation for funds that reflects the first needs we see in the field. These needs may grow, but I am sure, and I have to tell you, I got many, many calls from you and from friends around the world. I am sure that with our strong partnership and leadership of JFNA, Keren Dayesod, Foundation, and private donors, we will face this situation quickly and efficiently. We are fully coordinating our needs with our partners, and I must say, the number of phone calls, emails, messages we have been receiving from you all, giving us the power and the drive to continue, not to sleep, but to continue working on behalf of the Jewish people. And may I finish on a personal note. If I can ask all of our team members that are here, not in Ukraine, unfortunately, but here, to stand up for a second, even if you are physically or virtually. I saw before Shai Felber, our head of Aliyah and Klita, that didn't sleep. Roman, that just mentioned. Ashiri and the team of finance. I'm not sure that I see everyone, but if you can stand for a second, Shai and Roman and the other team behind. And please, guys, join me. They have shown unwavering dedication to the cause of the Jewish people in Ukraine, working day and night, Shabbat or not Shabbat, working day and night for the safety and the security of our Jewish brothers and sisters in Ukraine, living out the Jewish value of Arvut Adadit. So thank you very much for your support, and may we get some quiet there in Ukraine. Thank you very much.